I'm sort of sorry I had to stop. We'll go ahead and convene. Good morning, everybody. This is the May 8th, 2024 morning session of the Portland City Council. Keelan, good morning. Please call the roll.
Good morning. Ryan.
Here.
Gonzalez.
Here.
Epps.
Here.
Rubio. Here. Wheeler.
Here. Now we'll hear from legal counsel on the rules of order and decorum. Good morning.
Good morning. Commissioner Rubio. Welcome to the Portland City Council. To testify before council in person or virtually, you must sign up in advance on the council agenda at www.portland.gov/council/agenda. Information on engaging with city council can be found on this council clerk's webpage. The presiding officer preserves order and decorum during the city council meetings. The presiding officer determines the length of testimony. Individuals generally have 3 minutes to testify unless otherwise stated. A timer will indicate when your time is done. Disruptive conduct such as shouting, refusing to conclude your testimony when your time is up, or interrupting others' testimony or council deliberations will not be allowed. If you cause a disruption, a warning will be given. Further disruption will result in ejection from the meeting. Anyone who fails to leave once ejected is subject to arrest for trespass. Additionally, council may take a short recess and convene virtually. Your testimony today should address the matter being considered. When testifying, state your name for the record. Your address is not necessary. Disclose if you're a lobbyist. If you're representing an organization, please identify it. For testifiers joining virtually, please unmute yourself once the council clerk calls your name. Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot. First up is communications. First individual, please. Keelan, item number 345.
I believe the 5 communications would like to present together.
That's fine. They can come up and do a joint presentation for 15 minutes if they'd like.
Okay, I'll read them really quickly. 345, request of Julie Partain to address council regarding a thriving Rose City self-defense. 346, request of Katie Cahill to address council regarding a thriving Rose City self-defense. 347, request of Cassandra Cole to address council regarding a thriving Rose City self-defense. 348, request of Megan Hofer to address council regarding a thriving Rose City self-defense. And finally, 349, request of Jessica Irvine to address council regarding a thriving Rose City self-defense.
Very good. And all of you are here either in person or online, correct?
I believe so, yes. I know that at least 2 of our folks were going to be joining online.
Okay, it looks, I think I see him there. So we'll give you 15 minutes and you can arrange it however you'd like. Just please, as you speak, introduce yourself for the record.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Would you like to start? Oh, excellent. Yeah, great. I'll go first. Mayor Wheeler, Commissioners Gonzalez, Mapps, Rubio, and Ryan, Thank you very much for your time today. My name is Jules Partain, and I'm a volunteer with the Rose City Self-Defense Program, and I've been a volunteer with that program for the last 18 years. It's been one of the most rewarding experiences that I've had in my life. The privilege to get to watch literally thousands of Portland students come through this program and see them like find their voices and also watch them gain and in some cases regain their self-confidence as they learn skills to de-escalate and also defend themselves. It's a very wonderful experience. This free self-defense program has been available to Portlanders for the last 45 years. And during the COVID-19 pandemic, we really made a lot of efforts to bring the curriculum more up to date so that we could include topics such as the differences between intuition and bias, and also like navigating consent and situational awareness, to bring those things in with our self-defense skills to make folks not only more confident and more able to defend themselves, but also just more well-rounded members of our community. So thank you very much for your continued funding support for this program in the 2024-2025 budget. And I will pass this along to the next person in our group.
Great, thank you.
Hi, good
Morning.
morning, Mayor Wheeler, Commissioners Gonzalez, Maps, Rubio, and Ryan. It's very nice to see you all this morning. My name is Jessica Irvine, and when I'm not here off duty, I am a victim services specialist for Portland Police Bureau, but I want to make clear that I'm not here to represent the Bureau in any way. I am joining with the volunteers who work with Rose City Self-Defense, and I want to thank you for meeting with us this morning. I wrote a letter, which I'm going to read, to express my strong support for Rose City Self-Defense. Cutting the program as it was proposed by the Community Safety Division would have ended a decades-long program that is not only it's the only free empowerment-based women's self-defense class in the greater Portland area. I know because I've searched that. I work as a victim services specialist, as I said, for Portland Police Bureau. And I know from my work that Rose City Self-Defense supports some of our most vulnerable residents in Portland, sexual assault survivors, many of whom are disabled, are from historically disenfranchised groups, are young and economically stressed. Did you know that every 68 seconds, a person experiences a sexual assault in this country? Young people and teens are at the greatest risk of sexual assault, and the majority of those victims are girls, women, and those who identify as female. Unless a survivor is believed, respected, empowered, there can be lasting and insidious psychological harm. In addition, as I observe it, these incidents can have a destructive and disruptive effect on the rest of a person's life, making learning, working, and functioning difficult without the support of friends, family, and the community. Rose City Self-Defense steps into this space to offer classes that inform, empower, provide community, and hope. Healing from sexual assault is not quick or linear. Yet being around empowered people like the dedicated volunteers and staff of this program can show a survivor that there is safety in the world and power to be reclaimed. This free class can empower a survivor to recover a sense of agency and help them make progress on their journey of healing. I work with victims of sexual assault and human trafficking, and cutting this program now would remove a tangible and relatively inexpensive source of support for people who need as much support as possible. Funds at the county level are scarce and often hard to access. State programs offer helpful but limited remedies, and therapy practices are filled to capacity. This leaves victims with few places to turn and fewer options for the many advocates in the community and in our systems to refer and recommend. There are so many barriers to getting help that traumatized survivors sometimes find it overwhelming to navigate and to get discouraged by barrier after barrier. In my line of work, I work to minimize the trauma that systems and bureaucracies inflict, and knowing that we can share this with survivors is enormously helpful. I know that the city is faced with difficult choices this year. I don't envy your responsibility, and I thank you for your work. It is hard to put monetary value on the human spirit and healing, but here's my value proposition. In exchange for the relatively low cost of running Rose City Self-Defense, the city gets the value of helping hundreds of Portlanders each year rebuild their spirit and recover dignity, or learn skills that make them less vulnerable, therefore reducing risk of harm for all. Economics is not my expertise, but I think there is great value in the city playing a role in helping a survivor learn to defend themselves against the kind of person who harmed them so badly before. Attending the classes offered by Rose City Self-Defense can make a big difference in a survivor's life. It can give the little break, the little give from an otherwise unyielding and rigid system that gives something back that no one can take from you. Bless you. Your sense of agency and dignity. Please do not take this from survivors and people who want to learn the skills to reduce the chance that they will be victimized. RCS's classes are available to girls as young as 11. To the disabled, or that's in the works, are focused on the BIPOC community and are free. Classes are in-depth, well-executed, and empowering. Cis and trans women and girls in the LGBTQIA+ community are welcome. I know from experience, both as a survivor and an advocate, the profound impact that self-defense classes can have. RCS relies on a passionate and committed group of volunteer instructors who work with the community, and they've just launched a new class of 40 volunteers. We refer survivors to this program on a nearly daily basis. Please keep the program going. Thank you for considering my words and as you continue to represent and lead the people of Portland. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We appreciate your work with the city. Thank you.
I now cede to the next person.
Megan, is that you?
Thank you so much. I actually was going to cede to Jessica. She put it best. So thank you very much. Just here to support Rose City Self-Defense today. I'm a volunteer for it.
Great. Thank you. And Keelan, do we see any of the other folks online?
Katie, did you want to say anything?
I was just here in support and to cede my time to Jessica as well.
Okay, great. Thanks for being here. Thanks for showing your support. As you're aware, the program is fully funded in the proposed, and not to spoil the surprise, but I think my colleagues are very supportive of this program. And
Thank you very
so,
much.
We appreciate your being here, and thanks for the good work you're doing and elevating this as a priority for the community.
Thank you so much for your time.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To the consent agenda, Keelan, have any items been pulled?
No items. Sorry, no items.
Great, please call the roll.
Ryan?
Aye, but I just want to say one thing, Commissioner Rubio. I'm really happy to see that a couple of people I appointed to the draft board are up for renewal, Maurice Rameen and Sam Miller. So that was really good news. Aye.
Gonzalez?
Aye.
Maps?
Aye.
Rubio?
Aye.
Wheeler?
Aye. The consent agenda is approved. We will take a 2.5-minute recess until our first time certain. We're in recess. Okay, we're back in session. Item number 350, proclamation, please.
Proclaim May 2024 to be Mental Health Awareness Month.
Colleagues, our next item is an important proclamation honoring Mental Health Awareness Month in Portland. I'd now like to welcome Taisha McCool-Riley, Courtney Gilmore, and Joel Michaels from BHR to guide us through this morning's presentation. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to see you.
You also.
Morning.
Good morning. So can we just jump in?
Jump on in.
Cool. Good morning. I would like to start off by saying good morning to everyone. I hope everyone is doing well this morning. I'm Taisha McCool-Riley. I am currently housed in the Office of Community and Civic Life. And I am a Portland native, and I am the mental health program specialist. I always like to add that I am the one and only for the entire city of Portland. Today we gather in honor of National Mental Health Awareness Month for the month of May, acknowledging that we must center our mental health and our wellness far beyond just 1 month, a week, every day throughout our day. We should be seeking to acknowledge the prevalence of mental health distress, mental health disabilities, and seeking ways to create more inclusive, comfortable, safe, supportive environments in the workplace. Seeking to normalize conversations about mental health and our mental well-being. We then acknowledge our humanness and that we as humans are impacted by our experiences, our thoughts, and our emotions are also impacted. Recognizing that we are not exempt as city employees from experiencing distress, crisis, trauma, hurt, pain, and or disappointment. In our humanness, as complex as we are, we feel deeply, we feel intensely, and we deserve to be included, validated, nurtured in ways that make us feel valuable, supported, appreciated, and like we belong in the spaces and places in which we operate. Today, we all stand in solidarity saying that our mental health matters, our mental health is a priority, and that tending to those things is a necessity and not an option. We can no longer afford to continue to neglect ourselves as we begin to fester, as those things begin to fester and infect us, and we begin to bleed out on others, and it causes us all to feel overwhelmed, stressed, anxious, hopeless, powerlessness. We are witnessing, I know in my role, I'm witnessing tons of people being burnt out. People are ready to tap out. And so it is important that our system, not just a person here or there, but that our system is acknowledging the need and actually responding and nurturing that need. The past several years, if we're to think about COVID and the impacts of COVID, and then if we were to think about, we went right from COVID into this new transition, and there's so much change, there's so much uncertainty, there are all these things, and people are wanting to ride the wave, people are wanting to embrace it, but for some folks, because everyone has already been in a heightened place, it can be difficult. And so today, I am here to encourage us as a system to be more mindful and intentional about how we lean in to supporting our employees and maintaining their wellness, building resilience, and centering them and empowering them to take care of themselves and each other. And with that, I'm going to read a poem, and it's called Silent Scream. The silent scream echoes through the night as the darkness descends and the world loses light. A cry for help that nobody can hear, a desperate plea for someone to draw near. The weight of the world is a heavy load, and the mind can only take so much, I'm told. The pressure builds, the stress takes hold, and the silent scream becomes too bold. But there is hope, a light in the dark, a way to heal the mind and leave a lasting mark. A journey to mental wellness, a path to follow, a way to find peace, to feel calm and mellow. With self-care and support, we can find our way to a brighter tomorrow and a brand new day. We can break free from the silence and the pain and find the strength to live and love again. So let us not ignore the silent scream, but listen with open hearts and minds, it may seem. For mental wellness is just as important as physical health, and we must care for ourselves to live life to the fullest. And this poem is a reminder of the intensity of mental health distress and crises, while also providing hope for recovery and building resilience through connection, appropriate support, inclusivity, and tending to our personal well-being, and us ultimately taking care of us. Let this be our reminder to lean into the movement of prioritizing ourselves and our holistic needs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
My name is Courtney Gilmore, and I am the City Strong Health and Wellbeing Program Manager. And I am housed in BHR, and I am a part of the Occupational Health and Wellbeing team. So I'm here today to address an issue that impacts not only our workforce, but every person in our community, the mental health and well-being of our employees. As stewards of this city, it is a responsibility to ensure that those who serve our community are supported and cared for in every aspect of their life or their lives, including their mental health. Mental health is not a trivial matter. It affects every aspect of our lives, from our relationships to our productivity to our overall happiness. Yet it remains a topic shrouded in stigma and silence. So now it's time for us to break this silence and create a culture where mental health is openly discussed and supported and prioritized. Our employees is our most valuable asset, and their well-being is directly impacts the services they provide to our community. When employees struggle with mental health challenges, it not only affects their individual performance, but also the overall morale and effectiveness of our workforce. So we must recognize that mental health is not a personal failure, but a natural part of the human experience. It is incumbent upon us to provide the necessary resources and support systems to help our employees thrive, both personally and professionally. So today I urge you to consider taking some concrete steps to support our employees' health within our city workforce. And this includes expanding our mental health awareness training. So continuing to expand our mental health first aid, critical incident training, also trauma-informed care training. By doing this, is equipping our employees, our managers with knowledge and skills to recognize signs and symptoms of mental health and provide the appropriate support. Promoting a healthy work-life balance. So continuing to expand policies and practices that support work-life balance. Creating a safe work environment. So fostering a workplace culture where employees feel safe, valued, and supported in discussing their mental health concerns without fear or stigma or discrimination. And advocating for mental health policies. And this could look like normalizing taking mental health days when you're not mentally there. So by prioritizing employees' mental health, we not only demonstrate our commitment to their well-being of our workforce, but also set an example for other employers in our community to follow. Together, we can create a workplace where mental health is valued, supported, and prioritized, leading a happier, healthier, and more productive workforce. In closing, I ask you to support your partnership for the mental health program and the health and well-being program in this endeavor. So let's stand together to support employee mental health and work towards building a stronger, more resilient community for all.
Thank you. And does that complete the presentation this morning?
Yes, it does.
Great. Don't go away. I know my colleagues and I have more to add. Thank you both for your excellent comments. They're greatly appreciated and well received. Commissioner Mapps, you're up first.
Oh, sure. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Let me start out by thanking Taisha and Courtney for today's presentation. Courtney, in particular, I hear and want to follow through on your recommendations for concrete steps to help keep our employees well. And colleagues, as has become a tradition, I want to say this. I am glad to join you in proclaiming May 2024 to be Mental Health Awareness Month here in Portland, Oregon. During Mental Health Awareness Month, we renew our commitment to ridding our city of the stigma associated with mental illness. We encourage those living with mental health challenges to seek the help they need, and we reaffirm our pledge to increase access to mental health services. While I am glad to join this council in advancing this proclamation, I also feel obliged to point out the elephant in the room. Colleagues, as we all know, Oregon's mental health system is amongst the worst in the nation. I suspect every Portlander can feel that failure in their bones, and I know that every member of this council can feel that failure too. That's why I want to take a moment to propose a new path forward for Portland. It is past time, I believe, for this council to call on the governor and the state legislature to pass a package of comprehensive reforms to our state's mental health system. Surprisingly, in recent years, this council's legislative agendas have not included a call for state government to reform Oregon's mental health system. I think it's time to fix that. That's why I propose that before the end of this calendar year, this council draft a set of proposed reforms to Oregon's mental health system, which could be incorporated into Portland's legislative agenda for 2025. Thank you very much. And again, thank you, Taisha and Courtney, for joining us today.
Commissioner Rubio.
Thank you. And thank you, Mayor, for highlighting this important month. And also thank you, Taisha and Courtney, for once again doing an amazing job of centering this issue and centering our city employees. Mental illness affects millions of Americans, which is why it's so important that we acknowledge and support this month. And according to National Alliance on Mental Illness, 1 in 5 experience mental illness every year, and that number increases dramatically when you're talking about members of the BIPOC and LGBTQ plus communities. So we need to be more mindful about mental health of ourselves and others, as well as practicing our workplace values, as you've reminded us to do, to make sure that we foster belonging, inclusion, and self-care. And when we do that, we grow our own ability as leadership also to cultivate that culture of understanding that supports every person and every employee's journey to wellness. And that also just starts by ensuring that we have basic information out there for our employees and making sure they're aware of it. I know how overworked you are and overtaxed you are, so I appreciate the tremendous work you're doing, and we see evidence of that work because our employees know how to navigate to those resources, and that's a credit to you. But this basic information can save lives, and so we really greatly appreciate having the ability to lift up this important message today. So I want to thank you again for being here, for reminding us again of our responsibility as a city. We have the power to amplify this message, and I'm proud that we're doing that again this year.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Rubio. Commissioner Ryan.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor, and thanks for bringing this forward. It's so good to see you, Taisha. Anyway, yeah, we had a chance to have a few meetings together when I had Civic Life, so it's just great to see you. And a copy of the poem you read, Silent Scream, would be desired, so maybe you could send that to me.
I will.
Thanks. And then building upon Taisha, Courtney, thank you for really focusing on what we can do for our employees. That was really important for us to listen to. I'm going to start off by just saying what's been said, but maybe with some different flavor. Untreated mental health has an impact on everyone. Everyone. The impact of our humanitarian mental health crisis, sadly, is on plain view on our streets, which affects every Portlander as well, including city employees who are the first responders. And then imagine all the mental health episodes taking place in isolation. Truly, you can't heal alone. Perhaps the one silver lining of the past 10 years is that the stigma of mental health is slowly being lifted as more and more accepting the basic truth about the universal impact of mental health, which is impacting everyone again, directly or indirectly. I haven't met a family that hasn't told me stories about how mental health has impacted their lives. This is a reminder of the moment in time we've been in for some time now, but it was really accelerated during COVID and its impact on people in everyday society of all ages. That said, the impact of being isolated and coming back to engage in teaching and learning in our schools has really been severely impacted. And I truly worry, I know it's a different meeting, I'm not on a school board anymore, but the budget cuts coming to the K-12 space is very concerning. Right after the arts, mental health is often the victim to cuts. In other words, arts teachers and counselors are often the first to be let go in the K-12 system. And access to mental health is unfortunately a story of have and have nots. And I think we all know that. So, simply put, Oregon's history of shaming and closing down mental health institutions without having the courage to build something better is embarrassing. And it shows with our national rankings, 48 out of 51 for adult mental health and dead last 51st for young mental youth and younger people mental health treatment. I'm so tired of hearing the same excuses that we don't have enough money. Do something, find something that works. And please, government, make mistakes and learn from them and keep going, fail forward, have some courage. Build it, get results, and trust me, we will find the money to fund it. The status quo is embarrassing. I truly hope this governor, the current legislators, and our local provider of mental health services, the county, will start to act with some urgency. With a hope that the stigma continues to be lifted and action accelerates as we move forward with some humanitarian results. Please do not let perfection get in the way of good. Those who are suffering are caring and advocating for those who are suffering. You are not alone. We see you and keep challenging government to do much, much better. Action is how we can celebrate Mental Health Awareness Month. Let's go.
Thanks, Commissioner. Commissioner Gonzalez.
Thank you, Taisha and Courtney. Mental health is a struggle that affects everyone to some degree, particularly post-pandemic. 2024 Portland is at times a sad city, with too many feeling isolated. However, we can overcome it by being open, showing sympathy, working collectively, and leaning on one another. As we are here today, we must unite as a community to create an environment where everyone feels safe, supported, and valued. These are Portland values. Let us help those in need and work together to ensure peaceful, interconnected lives filled with hope and opportunity. We must extend our support to those in our community who may be experiencing feelings of hopelessness. Take the time to listen and understand the significance of being heard and accompanied during our most vulnerable moments. We also need to commit to creating spaces for people to connect, to experience joy, to reestablish the social fabric. Thank you for bringing this forward today. Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner Gonzalez. Thank you again. The annual observance of Mental Health Awareness Month provides us with a clear opportunity to shine a spotlight on mental health. And as Commissioner Gonzalez just said, this is an issue that affects each and every one of us in some manner or form. Mental health encompasses our emotional, our psychological, and our social well-being. That is a fact. It influences how we think, how we feel, how we act, and it plays a crucial role in determining our overall quality of life and our sense of self-worth. During Mental Health Awareness Month, we're reminded of the importance of prioritizing our mental well-being and supporting those around us who may be struggling. By fostering awareness, understanding, empathy, we can break down the stigma that we heard about during our presentation, which is very much a real obstacle to addressing mental health issues. And we can create a culture where seeking help for mental health concerns is not only accepted, but it's actually appreciated. It is now my honor to read this proclamation on behalf of the Portland City Council. Whereas the City of Portland takes pride in joining Americans throughout the country in recognizing May of 2024 as Mental Health Awareness Month, and whereas the City of Portland affirms that Mental Health Awareness Month promotes mindfulness of the importance of tending to our mental health as it's essential, and it acknowledges those living with mental health disabilities are deserving of care, understanding, compassion, pathways to hope, healing, recovery, fulfillment, and inclusivity. And whereas the City of Portland acknowledges the continuing need to dismantle systems of oppression for members of our workforce and communities that experience discrimination or other barriers to accessing mental health services. And whereas the City of Portland commits to establishing an ongoing dialogue with advocates, community organizations, and government entities with the intention of taking collective action towards supporting a healthy society. And whereas the City of Portland supports mental health awareness as opportunity to inspire and embolden meaningful action within our organization to reinforce the health and safety of the greater Portland community. And whereas speaking openly about mental health can reduce the misconceptions and the stigma, and it can encourage those who are suffering to seek help and find a support network. And whereas the city provides an inclusive and equitable work environment, ultimately playing an integral role in fostering a psychologically healthy workplace and supporting the mental well-being of employees. Recognizing that experiences of interpersonal and organizational inequity and discrimination are highly connected to stress and a decline in mental wellness. And whereas promoting a psychologically healthy culture is a priority through training and building leaders' skill sets that support mental health and positive relationships, and equipping workers to manage daily stress and handle the inevitable challenges that affect their mental well-being. And whereas increased awareness, increased understanding, support, tools, resources, and capacity building help to build a healthy foundation from which the city workforce can build upon to strengthen ourselves, build resilience, and collectively cope and heal from past adversity and be better equipped to manage future adversities. And whereas the City of Portland affirms that centering the mental health and well-being of its employees is essential to acknowledging the human experience and the impact that life has on each of us. Understanding the complexity of the human experience creates unique circumstances that require intentionality, proactivity, responsiveness, and inclusion. And whereas we recognize the importance of providing employees with a voice to be able to identify their needs and express how they would like to be supported, creating space to foster a sense of well-being that's felt throughout creating space to foster a sense of well-being that is felt through promoting feelings of being a part of an environment that recognizes and values employees, contributing to breaking down barriers and enabling employees access to various learning and development opportunities focused on collective healing and holistic well-being from varying perspectives, to ensure inclusion and a person-centered approach to elevating mental awareness. And whereas the City of Portland supports mental health awareness as an important social movement to help people with mental health disabilities understand that they are not alone in their experience. Raising mental health awareness can help create understanding, create access and resources, promote awareness, and break the mental health stigma that leaves so many people suffering in secret through normalizing conversations about mental health. Now, therefore, I, Ted Wheeler, Mayor of the City of Portland, Oregon, the City of Roses, do hereby proclaim May 2024 to be Mental Health Awareness Month in Portland and encourage all Portlanders to observe this month. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item is time certain 351, second reading.
Authorize intergovernmental agreements for the Portland Clean Energy Fund Climate Investment Plan Strategic Program 16 Climate Friendly Public Schools not to
Colleagues-
exceed $50,075,000 over 5 years.
Sorry, Keelan. Colleagues, this is a second reading. We've already heard a presentation and had opportunity for public input. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Keelan, please call the roll.
Ryan,
I'm sorry, I went away.
351.
Thanks. Okay, good. First of all, I want to thank everyone who testified on the first reading last Thursday. It was great testimony. I especially appreciate some dialogue we had about the fact that the three districts receiving some of the lower amounts of funding are in historically underserved communities with a higher population of children and families with needs, and most likely live in homes without modern HVAC systems that can save lives during severe weather. I look forward to hearing how we can continue to improve the equity lens when we make such decisions going forward. How do we factor in the truth about the demographic data and about the fact that those districts in East Portland can't pass bonds like we see at PPS in Riverdale? So I just look forward to hearing more about how we continue to improve those decisions. When we have a great opportunity like the Portland Clean Energy Fund, it's of utmost importance that we respond with urgency. And this plan is a great start in using the fund to get immediate results. I'm really happy to vote aye.
Gonzalez,
Aye.
Maps,
I want to thank the PSEF Committee and Commissioner Rubio for their work on this important project. I think these awards are creative, constructive, and collaborative, which is why I vote aye.
Rubio,
I'd like to acknowledge the hard work of the PSEF team to get us to this point where we're making real the commitments in the climate investment plan. Also, thank you, Sam and Wendy, for your excellent presentation on this climate-friendly public school strategic program. I believe investing in our schools to ensure they're healthy places where our kids can learn without exposure to a lot of these issues created and exacerbated by the climate crisis embodies the goals of the original initiative that was supported overwhelmingly by voters. I'd also like to acknowledge the testimony from representatives from the school districts. We really appreciate you taking time from your busy schedules to come and discuss the program, and we're excited for the partnership. So we're eager to see these projects get underway and look forward to hearing about the progress. I vote aye.
Wheeler,
$50 million will be distributed over 5 years to public schools and districts to pay for youth-initiated climate activations, as well as upgrading school facilities to be more energy efficient. I think this is fantastic. I'm very supportive. I vote aye. The ordinance is adopted. Next item, please. 352. This is a report.
we are a couple minutes early for that one.
Oh, you are correct. Why don't we take a 3-minute recess?
Okay, thank you.
why don't we go ahead and, sorry to break up the party. Let's go ahead and reconvene, please. Item number 352, a report.
Accept report from Chief Procurement Officer on professional modeling support services for 5 years, not to exceed $11,250,000.
Awesome. And for those watching online, sorry, this has been a little jumpy this morning. We have time certain items and we can't start them until we actually reach the appropriate time. So that is the reason that we've been taking a couple of short recesses here. So this report will authorize price agreements for on-call support services to carry out hydrologic, and hydraulic computer modeling and technical services for everything from planning, design, and construction to regulatory compliance and more, the Bureau of Environmental Services. Interim Chief Procurement Officer Kathleen Brenes-Marua is here to present the report and actually pronounce all of the key terms correctly. Welcome.
Good morning, Mayor Wheeler and Commissioners. I'm Kathleen Brenes-Marua, the city's interim chief procurement officer. With me is Ning Mao, the systems analysis and modeling engineering supervisors with the Bureau of Environmental Services. We are here to recommend authorization to enter into these price agreements for on-call professional modeling services in support of the city's collection systems planning. City Council approved ordinance number 191014 on September 28th of 2022. Procurement Services issued a request for proposals on December 22nd of 2022 with the bid opening date on January 19th of 2023. 16 proposals were received in multiple modeling support service categories, and the recommended contract awardees are Leeway Engineering Solutions, LLC, Brown Caldwell Incorporated, Jacobs Engineering Group, and DH Water and Environmental Incorporated. These price agreements for on-call services are intended to be used for projects whose specific scope and budget are not predetermined. Work performed under these agreements will be authorized via written task orders when projects are identified. The city's equity and contracting aspirational goal of 20% for subcontractor utilizations of firms certified by the state's Certification Office for Business Inclusion and Diversity will apply to each individual task order, and all of the contractors awarded these price agreements have committed to make good faith efforts to achieve the utilization goal. Each task order will be negotiated to subcontract with COBID certified enterprises to the maximum extent possible. Ning is with me, and she's going to share a brief presentation about the project needs. Ning?
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Ning Mao. I'm supervising engineer with the Bureau of Environmental Services, Integrated Planning. On-call temporary modeling staff will provide support to city's collection system from planning through construction for capital improvement projects, and provide additional personnel during the heavy and the critical workload times for both CIP and non-CIP urgent modeling requests. Support cities, sewer collection system, and the treatment plants maintenance and operations. Supports risk assessment and development of long-term investment needs for the critical infrastructure. Support equity in contracting and the workforce development, recruitment, and apprenticeships. These contracts will replace existing price agreements to continue needed temporary modeling and technical support. The total amount of the contract is $11,250,000 over 5 years. There is no impact to the budget as the worker will provide support to adopted CIP and operating budget projects. Contractor will provide the support on hydraulics and hydrological modeling support for CIP and system planning development, programming, and the GIS support. For long-term planning and reinvestment, computer modeling informs what and where risks are in our systems, if there are inequities in the risk in our systems, and which risks are acceptable, which are not. Recommend improvement strategies. In conclusion, this consistent with the past ongoing scope and utilization, support BES computer modeling workload for long-term planning, CIP project delivery, regulatory compliance needs, and the various modeling service requests. Avoids cause of delay and support a practice reinvestment culture. Enhance the workforce development, diversity and recruitment effort, and opportunities. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ning. So all of these contractors are in compliance with all of the city's contracting business requirements, and we are here to recommend that you award these contracts. Happy to address any questions you have about the procurement process, and Ning can address any questions about the services themselves. Thank you.
Thank you. Colleagues, any questions? Do you have public testimony on this item?
No one signed
There's a report. I'll entertain a motion to accept the report.
So moved.
Commissioner Maps moves. Can I get a second, please? Commissioner Ryan seconds. Any further discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Ryan.
Thank you, Kathleen and Ning. That was, what can I say? That was very informative. And if I asked questions, I would just reveal how much I don't know about the topic. And so what I did notice is that you've made some really good decisions, and there's a good focus on COVID. And I accept the report. I vote aye.
Gonzalez.
Aye.
Maps.
Yeah, I want to thank Kathleen, Ning, and the mayor's office and management and finance and revenue and finance for supporting this project. It's important work, which is why I vote aye.
Rubio.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye. The report is accepted. Thank you very much for the presentation today. Item number 360, this is a second reading.
Amend city code to update existing public camping restriction policies.
Colleagues, this is a second reading of the time, place, and manner ordinance update council heard 2 weeks ago. This item seeks to address our city's ongoing challenges with unsheltered homelessness through clear and legally enforceable regulations that address camping on public property. I'd like to open the floor to any comments or questions or any further business anybody has on this item. Seeing none, Keelan, please call the roll.
Ryan.
Yes, colleagues, 2 weeks ago, we had a meaningful debate on two different approaches to Portland's time, place, and manner ordinance. I was clear that I thought we should align to our neighboring jurisdiction of Gresham, our state's fourth largest city, our county's second largest city. That alignment will have a lot of impact, major impact, on the biggest issue facing our region. In my opinion, bringing clarity to our emergency workers in both social services and public safety is critical, especially between areas where Portland and Gresham boundary is quite fluid. The need for services is the highest in those areas, like between 140th and 180th. Ultimately, the majority of this council voted to move the proposal we have here today forward. And I want to be clear, my priority is and has always been movement towards building a model that provides a compassionate response to our homeless population and by those who have homes but are deeply impacted as well, especially our disabled community. I believe the ordinance before us today is forward momentum. We need to ensure we are doing all we can so Portlanders feel like they can easily navigate our sidewalks and feel safe. Right now, our city needs us, our community needs us, and right now we need to act with compassion, collaboration, and common sense. Let's keep moving the ball forward, down the field. I vote aye.
Gonzalez.
I'm concerned that this ordinance will not lead to a meaningful decrease in encampments in the city of Portland. that it risks sending mixed messages, that it will result in our city seeing many more encampments than our neighboring jurisdictions. Why? Because neighbors such as Gresham are willing to say unconditionally, do not camp in their city, all while complying with the same complex legal environment as the city of Portland. For many years, Portland law was very clear. No camping allowed in the city. This was a better city when we were clear about our expectations, even if that clarity eroded with time. And we see every single day the consequences of being vague. Portlanders want their electeds to provide a safer and cleaner city, to speak clearly. Today's ordinance fails to state no camping in the city unconditionally. The results, I fear, will be all too predictable. Continued migratory homeless on Portland sidewalks, including from our neighboring cities that are clear on no camping. I want to reiterate a few specific substantive concerns with today's ordinance from my office. It's overly complicated code. I referenced my comments from 2 weeks ago about those specific concerns, as well as the lack of explicit protection against unsanctioned camps near schools and child care centers, something we hear over and over again from Portland residents. Lack of alignment with our neighboring jurisdictions. Portland went their own way on this, unnecessarily. We also have some procedural concerns with today's ordinance. This approach was done out of fear. Unelected attorneys for well-funded homeless advocates seem to have more influence on this code than the office of the Commissioner for Public Safety. Fundamentally, this code is more about managing risk of lawsuits, less about providing relief to Portlanders. We have opted for a technocratic and feel-good solution to a problem that needs decisiveness and clarity. This was rushed. The code is based on a poor legal foundation that appears very likely to shift as early as this summer with the Supreme Court decision in Johnson versus Grants Pass. Portlanders are overwhelmed by encampments, the relentless violence, the crime, unsanitary conditions, and the inhumane slow-motion self-destruction of thousands in full public view. Portlanders hold local officials, including this council, responsible for those encampments. The reality is that neither this council nor this mayor created these encampments. In addition to a multitude of systemic causes, the current legal environment has been incredibly difficult for cities to find lasting solutions to encampments. 9 circuit courts have done immense damage to Western cities by interfering in an area long left to local government. Hopefully the Supreme Court will soon fix that. This city council has voiced that desire before too. Salem also bears responsibility for our inability to protect Portlanders and manage these encampments. They need to be accountable to the barriers for enforcement they created with House Bill 3115. Despite this context, Portland City Code is ultimately the product of this council. These code changes fail to respond in the strong manner that Portlanders are asking for. However, in discussions with law enforcement, they want something on the books, even if flawed. With hope that we'll be afforded another chance to actually address this crisis in clearer terms, I vote yes.
Maps.
Aye.
Rubio.
Earlier this year, I stated on the record that my hope was that we find another way forward, and that it was my hope that we repeal the existing policy and legal question and replace it with something more that will ensure a more common sense, pragmatic, and humane solution while meeting the intent of the policy, and especially when it comes to our community members living with disabilities. I believe that the mayor's proposal achieves much of what I had hoped for with that repeal and replacement, and what has been made, and that's made the difference for me in earning my support, is the collaboration with numerous community providers, government stakeholders, law enforcement in drafting this version of the ordinance, and the training that has commenced with PPB as well. And speaking for myself, the work done to engage proactively with my office, and to the mayor's team, I want to thank you for that engagement. I'm also pleased to see that important transparency values are further reflected through my amendment on data access and through Commissioner Mapp's amendment on intra-bureau alignment. These issues are really complex and challenging before us, as you saw in the discussion debate on this issue. We all want structures and rules to be in place that will allow all of us to live safely in our community, no matter where you live or sleep. And I know that Portlanders are exhausted and discouraged by the trash and graffiti, excessive camping, public use of illegal substances, and all sorts of biohazards on our street, and they want to see changes. We can do these things, and at the same time, we can do it and also not forget who we are when we do it. We can lead with compassion, we can lead with common sense when putting rules in place that we're all accountable to. And we can continue to work hard every day to provide shelter and a pathway to services for those that are unhoused. And with the mayor's proposal, also bringing a level of accountability to those cases of individuals who consciously refuse to abide by reasonable restrictions outlined that ensure that we can all use these public spaces safely. As a city, we've seen improvements, and yes, we still have a long way to go. And at the same time, we are on a productive track. And if you know me, you know that I believe in upstream, our responsibility to solving upstream problems as well, and really getting to the core problems at the root. So we can and must continue to concurrently think big and keep stepping up on housing production through bold moves and increasing support for those with mental illness and substance abuse disorder, and also hold the line when it comes to people committing crimes in our city. Otherwise, we'll be right back here in another 10 years. And that's not where any of us want to be. So this ordinance, while not perfect, it's a thoughtful one. It does more than anything else that has been proposed to bring front and center a balance of compassion, common sense, and a level of accountability. And I think we've had a lot of lessons learned through this process, and I hope that we can continue to make progress on these livability issues using our lens of Portland values and in deliberate, thoughtful ways. I vote aye.
Wheeler.
Addressing the issue of unsheltered homelessness in the city is obviously a complex as well as an urgent matter. And I believe that this ordinance represents a significant step forward in our ongoing efforts to manage public spaces effectively. And it does so while abiding by the United States Constitution and abiding by state law. And while I realize there are people who wish that we could act in a stronger manner and in a more forceful manner, it would be in violation of Martin v. Boise, and it would be in violation of House Bill 3115. The people of this city have me for 9 more months. If after 9 months you want to disband with constitutional rights and you want to disband with the notion of following the law, you may do so. But as long as I am mayor, I will continue to fight in support of constitutional rights and in support of upholding the law. I realize that may make me unpopular. I don't care. I'm more interested in upholding those values, not just for me, not just for us, but for future generations. And we know that there is an erosion of respect for the law and an erosion of respect for the United States Constitution. House Bill 3115, passed by the Oregon legislature in 2021, was a clear directive for local governments to align their policies regarding outdoor camping on public property with state law. Last June, this council took action to comply with House Bill 3115, but unfortunately, our initial efforts faced legal challenges and were subsequently enjoined by a Multnomah County Circuit Court. The current situation with no enforceable camping regulations in city code is untenable, and it clearly demands swift action. The ordinance we vote on today introduces new regulations that provide clear definitions of camping and emphasize the importance of regulating the manner of camping on public property. And I encourage people to read those regulations because they are common sense restrictions that I think everybody could agree with. In addition, there's been information out there that we are abandoning school property to homeless encampments. I want to be clear, I already closed off that problem when I issued an executive directive forbidding it, and that is currently the law in the city of Portland. Importantly, this ordinance also prioritizes diversion programs over criminal sanctions, recognizing the need for compassionate and effective solutions. This is a value that each and every member of this city council has already supported through our homeless plan that we voted on several months ago. This ordinance has been carefully crafted with input from legal experts to ensure its legality and its enforceability. Furthermore, I want to emphasize that this ordinance is just one part of our comprehensive approach to addressing unsheltered homelessness in Portland. Our city shelter team currently oversees 9 shelters with a total of 576 units. This team has been working tirelessly to expand shelter capacity with a total of 868 city-operated shelter units expected by the end of my term. And each and every one of those units will navigate people to whatever services they need to help them get off and stay off the streets, whether it's behavioral health services, whether it is public health services, whether it's addiction treatment, whether it's domestic violence survivorship services, whether it is employment services. Each and every person entering those systems will have access to those services. These efforts, coupled with extensive outreach and education on the new regulations, demonstrate our commitment to find meaningful and workable and legal solutions to the problem on our streets. The urgency of this matter cannot be overstated. The regulations we approve today will provide a much-needed transparent framework for outreach workers, service providers, and public safety responders, enabling them to carry out their duties responsibly and with proper notification. By approving this ordinance today, Council will show that Portland is leading with urgency and accountability to create a safer and a more compassionate community. I vote aye, and the ordinance is passed as amended.
Mayor?
Commissioner Gonzalez, do you have a point of order?
I just wanted, would we be able to consider this on an emergency basis at this point? Given the needs for law enforcement to forego the 30-day wait.
Are you proposing an amendment?
For discussion purposes, yes.
I would consider seconding it unless legal counsel has any objections.
We've already voted on it.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Here comes Robert. This is where he gets paid the big bucks.
Can reconsider the vote.
So I could call for a vote of reconsideration, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I move for a vote of reconsideration.
Second.
Commissioner Mapp seconds. Please call the roll on the reconsideration.
Ryan. Aye. Gonzalez.
Aye.
Maps.
Aye.
Rubio.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye. So the matter is back on the table, item 360. And Commissioner Gonzalez, you have an amendment?
I propose that we adopt this on an emergency basis.
I second that. And the reason behind it is that we currently do not have an actionable ordinance with regard to enforcing our camping rules and restrictions other than the laws that are separately on the books or the emergency directives that I have issued. And therefore, it would be better if we enact it immediately rather than waiting the standard 30 days after the second reading. Is that sufficient for legal counsel? Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Ryan.
Aye.
Gonzalez.
I appreciate the robust conversation that we've had in recent weeks on this topic, but we can't stand in the way of showing progress for Portlanders. I vote aye.
Maps.
Aye.
Rubio.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye. The amendment's on the table. Any further discussion on the main motion? Please call the roll.
Ryan.
Aye.
Gonzalez.
Aye.
Maps.
Aye.
Rubio.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye. The motion carries as amended. Thanks, Commissioner Gonzalez. Next item, 361, a proclamation.
Proclaim May 5th, 2024 to be Missing and Murdered Indigenous Relatives Day of Awareness.
Colleagues, we recognize Missing and Murdered Indigenous Relatives Awareness Day, which was held on May 5th. We are joined today by Adam Vicente, the new...
Sorry, they're not quite here yet.
They're not here. Okay, we'll move on. we'll move on to a different item. Not a problem. We will table that for just one moment. Let's move on, please, to item 362.
Accept bid of $2,634,575 from Team Electric Company for the groundwater pump station motor control center replacement project.
The groundwater pump station serves as the primary backup to the Bull Run water supply. The existing motor controller centers are about 10 years past their life expectation, and the parts are no longer manufactured, which makes part replacement incredibly difficult. This construction contract will replace the 8 motor controller centers at the groundwater pump station with updated parts. Before we hand it off to Interim Chief Procurement Officer Kathleen Brenes-Marua to present the report, I understand that Commissioner Mapps would like to say a few words. Commissioner Mapps.
Well, Mr. Mayor, you actually did a pretty good job of introducing this particular item. It's a straightforward replacing some heavy equipment for a groundwater system. Why don't we just hand it over to Kathleen?
Kathleen, welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, Mayor and Commissioners. For the record, I'm Kathleen Brenes-Marua, the Interim Chief Procurement Officer, and with me is Jody Inman, Chief Engineer for the Water Bureau, and we are here to recommend authorization to enter into a contract with Team Electric Company for the groundwater pump station motor control center replacement project. City Council approved ordinance number 190794 on April 27th of 2022. The engineer's estimate for this project was $2,425,000, and the confidence level was high. Procurement Services issued the invitation to bid on February 12th of 2024, and 2 bids were received on March 7th. Team Electric Company submitted the lowest responsive bid in the amount of $2,634,575, which is approximately 9% over the estimate. The city's aspirational 20% subcontractor and supplier utilization goal applied. Team Electric has committed to subcontract 46% to contractors certified by the state's Certification Office for Business Inclusion and Diversity, as identified in the report before you. Team Electric will be self-performing approximately 54% of the work. Team Electric Company is located in Clackamas, Oregon. They're in full compliance with all of the contracting requirements, and I recommend that you accept this report and authorize execution of the contract. I'm happy to answer any questions about the procurement process, and Jody can take questions about the project.
I have a question, if I may. So my layman's understanding of this is this our primary pump for our backup well water system? Can you explain how important this is in the context of supplying water in the event that we're not using Bull Run?
This is critically important. Sorry, Jody Inman, Chief Engineer for the Portland Water Bureau. The groundwater pump station is critically important as our secondary supply in case, one, we need to either augment the Bull Run supply, or if the Bull Run supply is not available. There are actually 6 large pumps and some 2 smaller pumps out of the groundwater pump station. Those are turned, basically the motor control centers are the brains that allow us to turn those pumps on and off. And they were installed in 1983. So electrical equipment like that typically has a life of about 30 years. So this is well beyond that expected useful life. So replacing these equipment is critical. It's just like a fuse in your car. If the fuse blows, you can no longer turn the pumps on. If you can't turn the pumps on, then we would be unable to deliver or have the full capacity of our groundwater system. So we have a staged, phased replacement of these to ensure that we always have some available.
Well, obviously you have my complete support for this. I guess I have a larger question, which is on a critical fail-safe part of our drinking water system, how did it get to this point? I mean, you can't even get replacement parts for it. It's 10 years over its estimated life. I must have missed something somewhere. Did I miss an opportunity to support this in the past and I just don't remember it?
No, we started planning for this work about 10 years ago, as the replacement components became harder to find. So we have been able to find pieces that we need, and we have some components that we've been able to use to continue the operations. We haven't had any failures in here, so we've been tracking it along with our asset management. And the replacement now is in a timely fashion. It's expensive, so in adjacent to everything else, we didn't want to replace things too early.
So what would be helpful for whoever is fortunate enough to replace me and the city council going forward would be a prioritized list. And in bold red should be anything that is critical path towards delivering water to the people of this city. I mean, that's, I'll be honest, I'm really incredulous. I just am. Anyway, I appreciate you bringing it now. Thanks. But I think we need a clear capital improvement strategy that prioritizes the most critical infrastructure. This is not incidental equipment. Just as I read this, I realize this is make or break. If we don't have Bull Run online for any reason and we cannot get our pumps to function, we do not have water.
Understood.
Okay. Any other questions? It's a report. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second. Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Ryan,
Aye.
Sorry, I didn't ask if there was public testimony.
there is none.
Thanks, sorry, Dan.
Ryan.
Aye.
Gonzalez.
Aye.
Hobbs.
Aye.
Rubio.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye, the report is accepted. Do we have everybody we need for 361? Correct. All right, could you please reread 361 for us?
Proclaim May 5th, 2024 to be Missing and Murdered Indigenous Relatives Day of Awareness.
Colleagues, we recognize Missing and Murdered Indigenous Relatives Awareness Day, which was held on May 5th. We are joined today by Adam Vicenti, the new Tribal Relations Program Manager within the Office of Government Relations, the Future Generations Collaborative, thank you for being here, and members of Portland's urban Indian community. Missing and Murdered Indigenous Relatives is a movement that draws attention to the disproportionately high rates of disappearances and murders of Indigenous people across the United States and Canada each year, and advocates for the end of violence against Native women and relatives, which includes girls, men, boys, and Two-Spirit individuals. According to the National Institutes of Justice, more than 4 in 5 American Indian and Alaska Native women, 84.3%, have experienced violence in their lifetime, including 56.1% who have experienced sexual violence and 55.5% who have experienced physical violence by an intimate partner. I want to offer a heartfelt thank you to everyone who has taken time out of their days to be here today to share your time and to share your stories. I'd now like to welcome Adam Vicenti, Tribal Relations Program Manager, to guide us through this morning's presentation. Good morning.
Good morning. Yat a been she Adam Vicenti in a shet and a gin in a slanton happily pashachito dashate torachi in dashanella. Introducing myself in my mother tongue, Dene Bazad. Formerly, I'm Adam Vicenti, Tribal Relations Program Manager within the Office of Government Relations. I am third week on the job, so please don't ask me any questions around government relations quite yet. Still getting my feet under me, but I really appreciate this opportunity to come before you, commissioners and Mayor Wheeler. I have a short statement I want to read before I pass it over to our guests that are here with us today. So again, good morning, Mayor Wheeler and commissioners, and also to the City of Portland and the public at large. As Mayor Wheeler mentioned, I am leading the Tribal Relations Program and excited for this venture. And I'm honored here today to recognize and uplift the missing and murdered indigenous relatives movement, as well as offer a statement and really some thought around our actions today. You know, with us here today are some incredible Native community members who will amplify the importance of MMIP. But I want to take this moment to mention that today is an opportunity to underscore the importance of MMIP, but it also could be much more. You know, as tribal people, we always think about our future generations and how our actions will ensure their success. I urge this council to think about how we can take the spirit of today's proclamation a little bit further with coordinated and collective action. And so with the city of Portland and the Portland urban Indian community, they both will benefit when we start to prioritize this critical issue with sustainable and effective policy. And now I want to pass it over to our youth leaders and advocates to offer personal testimony, starting with Savina. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Pisha Amoa. Good morning, Commissioners and Mayor Wheeler. My name is Savina Zuniga, and I am Northern Paiute, Western Shoshone, and Cherokee. I'm 24 years old, and I work for a nonprofit that serves struggling and homeless youth. We are brought here today to proclaim May 5th as Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women Awareness Day. I'm here to tell you why this issue is so important. Indigenous people disproportionately experience adversity, whether we're in cities or on reservations. We are 2.5 times more likely to experience domestic violence than any other group. 63% of Native women who report their assaults describe their abuser as non-Native. We are murdered at a rate 10 times the national average. Many reported cases of missing Indigenous women don't get an investigation. An uncountable amount of cases get falsely ruled as suicide cases or dismissed as runaways. The Bureau of Indian Affairs estimate at least 4,200 unsolved cases. We know the actual number of our missing relatives must be much higher, and I ask that we take a moment of silence for the women and relatives who have been taken. It is an important thing to recognize this day. Today is good. Today is beautiful, and today is necessary. But I ask to acknowledge this is still a beginning step. I encourage everyone to search online, read and watch, and listen to people's stories. Receive their words with an open heart. Sit with the sadness that may come. Mourn, consider, and remember that we sit uncomfortably every day. Remember that the people in those heartbreaking stories are our relatives. Listen to their stories and consider laws in place that don't protect us and what laws that we can put in place to better this issue. What societal norms make some of the general population believe their hatred and hate crimes are justified? And how can we educate our children so that they don't have to grow up to have bad thoughts and have bad actions? Earlier, I listed a few statistics, but please remember, Indigenous people are not just statistics. We are so many things. We are the land. We are water protectors. We are neighbors and colleagues and students. We are caretakers and professionals. We are Indigenous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Isha Proboisi. Paklisi nanokins kawesasis Isha Proboisi. Sendagat. You know, my land. This is where I come from. Come from these rivers here. My name is Isha Proboisi. I'm a tribal enrolled member of the Confederated Tribes of Warm Springs, descendant of Slet's people and adopt Klamath Modoc. I am also the Native Nations coordinator for Portland Community College, and I deal a lot with hearing people's stories of their disconnection with their cultures and their backgrounds, you know. As we stand here today, I would like to take this time to say a big thank you to the ancestors and Atwai elders who have recently joined our ancestors and for their sacrifices and prayers for us 7 generations. I also want to thank both indigenous folks who are working in places like this who have started paving the path for the future generations, as well as the community elders and leaders who have been so encouraging and educational on these kinds of matters. It wouldn't be possible without the sacrifices that the generations before us have done. But I would also like to thank the commissioners and the mayor for opening the doors for us to take up space. I am a 4th generational sexual abuse survivor. Just like my mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother before me, I was forced to be strong. Ever since I was a little girl, from ages 4 to 6, that man would come into my room at night while my mom was gone. From ages 4 to 6, he would do things to me that still haunt me in my dreams. I am turning 21 this year, and I still have no justice. My mom, after surviving domestic violence only a few months ago, has had no justice. And both the grandmothers before me died without justice. We are just one family line of stories out of hundreds and thousands, but don't get it wrong. We aren't standing or sitting here because we want to be pitied by you. We are standing here to tell you that we are still here and that our relatives are sacred, that we are sacred. We aren't just a statistic or a demographic. We are human. Since you settlers and colonizers have set foot on Turtle Island, our people and cultures have been stolen from us. We are killed, cut down, found in freezers, or are dumped in trash sites. Our young men, our young people are being shot down, and our Two-Spirit women and young relatives are being taken at scary rates. Yet no one is investigating, no one is looking besides us, and when we ask for help, you tell us that there is nothing that you can do for us. Excuse me. We still see the effects of the ongoing colonization of indigenous peoples across the world. We are still being affected, both through the intergenerational trauma of surviving and continuing to survive the ongoing genocide and attempted genocide of our people. An elder once told me, if we don't make a stand for us, then who is going to stand up for us and with us? Our people have stories that will tell you about these lands and waters and that we come from these lands and these waters. We are still here after all that has gone on, and there is nothing that is going to remove us from our homelands. So let's take the time to honor our missing, murdered Indigenous relatives and to acknowledge the hardships that us Indigenous people have to deal with on a daily basis as we walk between two worlds. Our traditional cultural way of life and this westernized culture and society. Now I'll say another big thank you. It is amazing to these amazing folks up here and to the community who have asked us to sit up here and share our stories. And I want to say, mene, land back. Because we need our relatives back in order to get land back. And land back doesn't mean just the land. It also means our relatives, our rights, and our ability to sit up here and to be human. Most of Ketcha, a big thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aisha and Sabina. And now we are going to be reading the proclamation in English, but starting with Chinookwawa with Raven.
Slahayam Flushchisan, Naganim Raven, Naga Maman Sa Tilacham Mithlike Kaba Alaska, Pina Athabaskan Yupik, P Kovo, Pinaga Papan, Sa Mithlike Kaba Wyoming, Pin Sa Eastern Shoshone, P Ute, Pina Mithlite, P Chagu Hayash, Kaba Ukwite, Shawash Ilai Kaba Uk Ilai. Hello, good morning. My name is Raven, and on my mom's side, we are at the Baskin Yupik, which is from Alaska, and also Coville. And then on my dad's side, we are from Wyoming, so Eastern Shoshone and Ute. And I actually grew up on the Grand Ronde Reservation, which is one of the 9 tribes here in Oregon. And then I'll be reading the proclamation to you in the native language of the land, which is Chinakwawa. Kawa Uk Portland Ila Mislite Kabatai La Pi Shawash La Kanamax Konaway Tilakam Pi Hayash Wawa Kagwa Uk Week Slop Pi Gata Mimulus Sluchman Pi Insaika Tilakam Uk Shandi Chagu Kumdux Insaika Kumdux Uk MMIR Kagwa Uk Munk Hilu Shawash Tilakam Kagwa Boston Tilakam Munk Pi Week Kabit Uk Tai Tilakam Munk Kumdux Fluska Kabit Boston Dret Flushwawa Uk Week Flush Kumdux Munk Hayu Week Flush Ikta Tilakam Puck Pitsukin Pi Munk Mimulus Kaba Shawash Fluchman Tanas Mon Tanas Mox Manwas Kaba Conway Shawash Ilai Uk Pasayax Ilai Pi Spaniel Ilai Kagwa Uk Mimulus Pi Week Slop Kanamox Tilakam Puck Itukan Tilakam Maguk Tilakam Pi Hayu Kata Kaba Insaika Tunus Tanas Conway Tilakam Elip Insaika Pi Conway Tilakam Kimta Insaika Pi Ankari Week Flush Munk Sik Dumdum Kagwa Uk Week Flush Puck Pitstucken Tai Tilakam Mosh Law Pi Insaika Portland Ilai Munk Kumduk Shawash Tilakam Sluska Chagu Week Chago Hilu Wacht, Muk Flock, Muk Hilu Shawash Tilakam, Kago Boston Tilakam, Muk Pi Week Fluska Kabe. Pus Flusko Week Kabe, Hilu Flush Ikta Mislite Kabe Shawash Tilakam Law. Kago Uk Mimulus Pi Week Flop, Kanamox Tilakam, Week Mislite Kabe Shawash Ili Fluska Kanawi Ka Kabe Portland. Kagwa Mox Dothlam Dak Amunak P Mox Dothlam P Mox P Bawawa Kaba Tai La Telecom Stukin Dothlam P Locket Shawash Fluchman P Stukin Dothlam P Mox Shawash Mon Tuin Weak Flush Puck Pitsukin P Stick Dum Dum Kaba Sluska Kagwa Uk Portland Ilai Wawa Skukam Wawa La P Telecom Hayu Flush Wawa P Telecom Kumdux Mimulus P Weak Flop Kanamox Telecom Kago uk Portland Ilai Nanich Wawa uk Dret Flush Ikta Pus Fleska Muk Kanamox uk Portland Shawash Tilakam Pus Insaika Wawa Wawa Fleska Yetlin P Muk Flush La Tsam Uk Yetlin Mimulus P Weak Flop Kanamox Tilakam Alda uk Tai Mon Tai Pus Portland Ilai Wawa Quinam Moon P Quinam Stan Mox Dothlam Dakamunak P Mox Dothlam P Locket Cool Mimulus P Weak Flop Kanamox Tilakam Stan P Munk Yetlin Kaba Portland Ilai Uguk Mox House P Tilakam Yaka Mithlite Kanamox Pus Fleska Tuin Pil Ikta Uguk Munk Yetlin Shawash Tilakam Hayamasi, thank you.
Nupoli mana Josh Ramy and Hopi Matsua Babu Evolko Pepper Spray and Matsua Tawangwa. Hi, my name is Bolimana Josh Rama. This is my service dog Pepper Spray, and I'll be reading the proclamation in English. Whereas the City of Portland stands with tribal, local, state, regional, and national governments and organizations across the country for National Day of Awareness for Missing and Murdered Indigenous Relatives, referred to as MMIR. And whereas lasting effects of colonization, harmful oppressive government policies, and white supremacy directly correlate to the rise of violence against Indigenous women, girls, men, boys, and Two-Spirit relatives in the United States, Canada, Mexico, and Central America. And whereas disappearances and murders of Indigenous relatives is directly connected to domestic and other forms of violence, sexual assault, and trafficking, along with a history of childhood, intergenerational, and historical trauma. And whereas these acts of violence, systems' neglect of this issue, and lack of justice for Indigenous relatives is a continued form of genocide and a direct threat to tribal sovereignty recognized by the City of Portland. And whereas missing and murdered Indigenous relatives are not isolated to reservations or rural communities, but impact urban areas like the Portland metropolitan region. And whereas in a 2022 report to U.S. Congress, 84% of American Indian and Alaska Native women and 82% of American Indian and Alaska Native men reported experiencing violent victimizations in their lifetimes. And whereas the City of Portland staunchly supports tribal governments and tribal communities' efforts to increase awareness and action on the issue of missing and murdered Indigenous relatives through programs, policies, and activities. And whereas the City of Portland leadership will engage with the Portland urban Indian community in conversation and action on how to address systemic issues that contribute to missing and murdered Indigenous relatives. Now, therefore, we do proclaim every May 5th as Missing and Murdered Indigenous Relatives Day of Awareness in the greater Portland region. We encourage businesses, organizations, public institutions, and community members to wear red to show solidarity, support, and raise awareness about this epidemic, systemic barriers, and the injustices Indigenous people continue to face. Oscar.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor Wheeler and commissioners. I also want to thank the public for coming today. Specifically want to shout out State Representative Anissa Hartman is with us here today to show solidarity. I tried to get her to speak, but she says it's your time. And so appreciate her humbleness and support. But that is all we have for you today. So really appreciate your opportunity and time and attention.
Thank you. Well done. Commissioner Mapps, did you have a comment?
Sure. Well, I just want to take a moment to thank all of our guests for joining us in person today. Your testimony was quite powerful. I've been on this council for 3 years at this point, maybe a little bit more, and during each of these 3 years, we have had this proclamation, and I'm always glad to join this council in proclaiming this year, May 5th, 2024, to be Missing and Murdered Indigenous Relatives Day of Awareness. On this day, we remember the thousands of Native Americans who've been lost to violence. And on this day, this council and the city recommits ourselves to working with tribal nations to end that violence. We have heard some hard facts today. Homicide, as we heard, is the third leading cause of death for Native American women. The median age of missing Native children, I'm told, is just 15 years old. And sadly, this year in Oregon, I believe that 10 Native people have already been reported missing. Frankly, these patterns, colleagues, are unconscionable and outrageous. We must do better as a city and a state. It's very important that we work to improve coordination and communication between law enforcement and Indigenous communities, for example. And we must recognize the trauma and pain that comes with the loss of a loved one. And we must support the healing process for those who have been impacted by these tragedies. And finally, of course, we must honor those who have been lost. To meet these goals, I know that I personally and this council is committed to working with Native communities and our state and federal partners, and our new Director of Tribal Relations. Welcome very much. We are glad to have you on board. Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Commissioner Gonzalez.
I want to say thank you to Mayor Wheeler, the OGR team, and our tribal partners for bringing to light this incredibly distressing and urgent issue. This country, and frankly, the Western Hemisphere, has had an immensely troubled history with Indigenous peoples. And clearly, these communities still struggle greatly with the residual effects and traumas of the past. We learned that roughly 8 in 10 Indigenous people have reported being victims of violent crime. We learned that Indigenous communities are disproportionately affected by sexual violence, human trafficking, domestic violence, and sadly, disappearances and murders. We learned these immense and heartbreaking statistics extend beyond those living in reservations, impacting Indigenous people living right here in Portland. Elevating these stories, creating awareness among every person possible is crucial to bring about this much needed healing. Thank you so much for being here today, bringing these challenges into view for Portlanders. We can and must do better in growing awareness is a great place to start. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Rubio.
Thank you. And I just want to thank this incredible panel that we had today for coming forward. Thank you, Mayor, for the proclamation and the Future Generations Collaborative, just for the work that you're doing every single day. Adam, I want to welcome you. We're honored to have you have your leadership at the City of Portland. I also want to acknowledge Representative Hartman for being here today, for her work on behalf of the state and all of us here every day. Savina and Isha, I just want to share with you how honored I was to have you share your deeply personal stories with us. I am impacted by your courage and your conviction, and for standing up for your people and your community. And I know that your ancestors are proud of you. I want to give gratitude to each of you, all of you, for working hard to raise awareness in the community, not just one day of the year when we're doing this proclamation, but fighting to have Indigenous people and relatives seen, recognized, and advocated for every single day. The high rates of violence, we already talked about that. We've heard a lot of the data, but I also just want to lift up that a lot of these people that are missing were younger than 18. And those are lives stolen. Also, women, Indigenous women face the highest rates of rape of any racial group in Oregon. And going over these facts, I have a visceral reaction to them, and we should really just be outraged by this. And this violence should not be normalized. We can't become numb. Our values and our conscience demand more from us as leaders and as people who have influence. And it starts with backing up our talk with action, looking at actions and facts and education and conversation and dialogue, and backing up the action form of engagement that is not, again, just one time a year, but a way of being and living in the world. So we should take opportunities. This is a good opportunity for us to learn more about MMIP and the events and actions that all follow, to raise awareness, for us to share with people that don't know, that have a responsibility to know. So I want to thank you again for raising these important, critical things that we need to be reminded about the impact of our world on, and for giving our city, again, a call to action about our important work ahead and our responsibility. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Ryan.
Thank you, Mayor, for bringing this forward. Adam, Vicente, welcome. It's your third week on the job. It's great to see you. I look forward to having a meeting with you soon. Savannah, Isha, Raven, I couldn't catch your name. I'm so sorry.
Polimana.
Polimana. And also Representative Hartman in the audience. Thank you for being here. It was so powerful. It was a very powerful presentation. It came from your heart. And one of you mentioned, anyway, you are sacred. And my job today is to listen, believe you, and my heart is full. I'll just skip all the stuff that I wrote down because it doesn't ring valid at this moment. It's well past time that we show up for our Native American, Indigenous communities and welcome, listen, and believe, and acknowledge and support you. We're in this together, and it's up to us in leadership to help. Thank you again for your presence today.
I want to echo my colleagues' thanks. That was difficult testimony. I appreciate it. The hardest stories to tell here are personal stories, but they're also the most informative. So thank you. Adam, you've stepped in with both feet really admirably. Thank you. The Tribal Relations Program is very important to the city, and it's one that's personally been very important to me. And we've had successes, we've had bumps along the road, but I'm very impressed with you. And today is just one more example, I think, that can give us all confidence in your leadership. So kudos to you and your team. Thank you very much. And to OGR Sam et al., thank you as well. Representative Hartman, thank you for being here, being present in our chamber. We appreciate it. I owe you a return visit when you're back in session, which will probably be too soon as far as you're concerned. But we really appreciate your leadership in the community and everything that you've done for all of us. And it's just really good and positive to see you here today. I think this is is it the 7th or the 8th time in my tenure that we've brought this day forward for a proclamation. And I have a ray of hope, because what's different this time is that I'm seeing a younger and younger cohort being more and more engaged. And your future generations, I want to make sure I get the future generations collaborative, I think is a terrific idea. If people want to get in touch with you, is there a website or a way that people could get in touch?
Our website is fgcpdx.org, and our Instagram is @Future Generations Collaborative.
Thank you very much. Your presence today here is deeply felt and greatly appreciated. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Colleagues, could we take a 5-minute break?
Yeah.
Let's take a recess. It's about 11:15. Let's like a little after 11:20. Thanks. We're in recess. All right, why don't we go ahead and reconvene? Keelan, can you please read items 363, 364, and 365 into the record? They are all three emergency ordinances.
Item 363, authorized contract with CenturyLink Communications LLC, DBA Lumen for ongoing data transport services for 3 years not to exceed $4 million. Item 364, authorized contract with CenturyLink Communications LLC, DBA Lumen for ongoing voice services for 5 years not to exceed $7,500,000. And item 365, authorized contract with Comcast for fiber optic and data transmission services for 5 years not to exceed $4 million.
All right, thanks. These ordinances authorize contracts with Lumen and Comcast to purchase critical voice data and network products and support. The voice services support areas such as the Bureau of Emergency Communications, non-emergency lines, as well as 311 calls. Data and network services support remote access to applications such as SAP and Office 365 tools, as well as connectivity to our network for all Bureau locations and partner agencies. With that, I'll turn this over to Beth Fox and Lee Nichols from the Bureau of Technology Services to walk us through the ordinances. Welcome, Beth and Lee. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. I appreciate your time today. I am Beth Fox. I'm a Technology Capital Project Manager with BTS, and my colleague Lee Nichols is a Telecom Supervisor, and he is supporting me in case you ask me very technical voice questions today that I cannot answer.
We all need a Lee. That's
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Thank you, Lee, for being here. I did also want to comment on the fact that these are all emergency ordinances. The negotiations were very successful with our vendors, but it took a very long time to get to where we are today. And we have some services that we offer to our customers that are backlogged, waiting for approval of these ordinances today, which is why they are all emergency ordinances. I am going to start with items 363 and 364. These are two individual contracts with CenturyLink, also known as Lumen. Next slide, please. We are seeking council approval today on a 3-year data and a 5-year voice contract with Lumen. The $11.5 million associated with these contracts are funded by BTS's cost recovery model, so we are not asking for additional funding today. These contracts, the two that Lumen provides, helps us to continue to support our critical services. Next slide, please. I want to briefly explain some of these services. Please feel free to ask questions if you'd like. On the voice side, we provide telephone service and features like call transfer or conference calling within your phone system and long distance dialing. This data contract helps us to provide the connectivity for bureaus and buildings to get to their applications like SAP or whatever applications they use on a daily basis. Both the data and voice contracts have services that are associated with call centers like our 311 call center, and then many bureaus like the Revenue Bureau, Parks and Water have customer call centers that are also supported with these services. Next slide, please. Pardon me. We wanted to share a little bit of call statistics with you to give you an idea of how much we use the phone system at the city. So this is call data for last year. We made nearly 4.7 million call attempts in 2023, and that's just picking up your handset and dialing a number. This does not include cellular calls or the outerlying areas, like the watershed has a slightly different call system. And the busiest times at the city of Portland is Mondays between 9 and 10 a.m. Next slide, please.
That's
From the data side, we do connect people to their applications. So we're a data transfer. It's like a freeway for data on these connectivities. And we actually help you get to the application you use the most every day. We also help people get to any services that may be cloud-based or hosted in the cloud. Revenue Bureau, Water, BTS has cloud-based services. We also connect community centers. I'd like to mention the pools here too. They don't have the same connectivity needs every day. The pools, for example, are very busy during the summer, but not so much in other months. So they don't need the same type of connectivity year round. So we use Lumen for some lower bandwidth type options that make it more affordable. And the last item on the data side is we do a lot of monitoring of our infrastructure here at the city. Things like the sprinkler systems, the elevators, HVAC, our pump stations, all need to be monitored, and we provide low bandwidth connectivity for that type of monitoring with this contract. Next slide, please. So to summarize 363 and 364, we are leveraging cooperative contracts with the state of Oregon. It's a 3-year and a 5-year contract. They are aligned with the expiration dates on those state contracts. The pre-negotiated price schedules allows us to fix the cost for the terms, which allows us some flexibility and efficiencies to roll these services out to our customers. Next slide, please. I am now moving on item 365. This is a contract with Comcast. Next slide, please. We are asking you today to approve a 5-year agreement with Comcast. The amount is $4 million, but it is funded through BTS's existing cost rate model, and we are not asking for additional funds. This allows us to buy Comcast fiber services or other types of connectivity services on the network. Next slide, please. The type of services that flow across Comcast's network segments, we all may be familiar with them. Email, dial tone, access to the internet, access to our intranet and other bureau-specific applications. We have a public safety presence on Comcast segments, allowing first responders to get access to their applications and provide the critical services that they do. And this contract helps not only to support City of Portland's network, but we have great partnerships with Multnomah County and other municipalities in this region that also benefit from this contract and the connectivity that it provides. Next slide, please. Pardon me. I wanted to take a brief moment to talk about the relationship that we have with Comcast. We are talking about fiber services. They have been providing that for more than 20 years. Over 20 years ago, they provided a historic iNet. iNet is institutional network that provided a very stable connectivity option for not only ourselves, but the partners I mentioned in the slide above. At its peak, this network was more than 300 locations, and it helped us to affordably support public safety and our partners in the region. Comcast is very competitive in this marketplace, and they really have helped us to expand our network. One of the things our teams are very pleased about is that Comcast has dedicated support teams here in the Portland area, so when they pick up the phone for a problem, they get a hold of someone that is here and able to help. Next slide, please. To summarize 363, we are leveraging a national cooperative. It's the NCPA contract to purchase these services. The competitive nature of this contract has really helped us to increase our services in this region, and it helps to provide redundancy and resiliency in our network. Final slide, please. I just want to summarize all 3 ordinances today, 363, 4, and 5. We are looking for your approval on these ordinances. We're not asking for additional funding. It's all covered through BTS's existing rate model, and we are leveraging cooperatives in order to do so. Next slide. We are here to answer any technical or contract questions you might have for us on these ordinances today.
Well, that was blissfully to the point. Thank you. And you hit all the highlights in terms of the non-technical information that we would be most interested in. I do have one question about the organization. I'd not heard of this national cooperative. Could you explain a little bit more about what that is?
The NCPA contract allows us to purchase services from Comcast, And it's a national, so a lot of municipalities use this contract. It's got cooperative language that allows us to purchase products at a very competitive price.
So is it pre-agreed to, the rates, the terms?
Yes,
Okay,
many of them have set
And that's been
costs.
negotiated with Comcast nationally?
Yes.
And who leads that? Like,
That is a
who is in
really
charge
good
of that
question.
effort?
I don't know the answer to that. I don't know who's in charge of NCPA contract, but I can certainly find that
I
out
was
for
just
you.
curious. I hadn't seen that before in any of our contracts, and it's an interesting concept. But obviously, you're very pleased with Comcast and the customer service and the responsiveness, and I was glad to see that as well.
Thank you.
Great, good. Any further questions? Anybody else? Any public testimony?
No one signed up.
Great. Could you please call the roll then on item 363?
Mayor, these are emergencies and we require a unanimous vote, and it looks like Commissioner
Oh, yeah.
Gonzalez has
Sorry,
stepped
he
away.
did. Yeah, we'll just wait a sec. Take a minute recess.
Am I voting?
Nice. All right, go ahead and call the roll on 363, please.
Ryan?
Aye.
Gonzalez?
Aye.
Maps?
Aye.
Rubio?
Aye.
Wheeler?
Aye. The ordinance passes. 364, also an emergency ordinance. Please call the roll.
Ryan?
Aye.
Gonzalez?
Aye.
Maps?
Aye.
Rubio?
Aye.
Wheeler?
Aye. The ordinance is adopted. Item 365, last but not least.
Ryan?
Gave a very good presentation.
Thank
That's
you.
why this is happening. So I vote aye.
Gonzalez?
Aye.
Maps?
Aye.
Rubio?
Aye.
Wheeler?
Aye. Thank you for the
Thank
great
you.
work. The ordinance is adopted. All three of them are. Good luck. Let us know if there's any glitches.
We will. Thank you so
Thanks.
much.
Appreciate it. Thanks,
Thank
Lee.
you.
I still feel, but I feel badly we don't have tough questions for Lee.
I'm ready for him.
All right, well, we'll think of some, we'll email you.
They'll be
Thanks for
back in
being
5
here.
years.
Exactly. All right, next item, please. 366.
Authorize competitive solicitation and price agreements for route control services not to exceed $2,500,000 over 5 years.
To you, Commissioner Maps.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Colleagues, this item comes to us from the Bureau of Environmental Services. This ordinance authorizes a competitive solicitation and price agreement for route control services. This ordinance is necessary because tree roots intrude into sewer pipes, which causes which is the root of our most common cause of sewage releases into property, streets, and the environment. That's also why BES hires contractors to remove roots from our pipes. BES currently manages one price agreement for these services. That contract has been in place since 2014 and expires in 2024, which is why this ordinance is before us today. This item before us today authorizes the city's chief procurement officer to conduct a competitive solicitation for the lowest responsive bidder for route control services. Here to tell us more about this ordinance, we have Jeremiah Hess, engineering supervisor with environmental services, and I believe we also have Randy Hess, also with environmental services. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Maps. Thank you, commissioners, and Mr. Mayor. As I mentioned, or as Mr. Maps mentioned, with me today is Randy Hess from the engineers in my group, who is going to provide the presentation. I'm sorry, didn't introduce myself. Jeremiah Hess, engineering supervisor in the operations and maintenance group at BES.
Hi, hello, and this is Randy Hess with Bureau of Environmental Services. And as mentioned, we do have issues with root intrusions in our sewer mains, unfortunately. They can get in there and impede or even block flow entirely, which unfortunately can lead to sewer backups in homes and businesses, which can, can not just be an inconvenience, but also a major expense for people some of the time. So, we like to do whatever we can to try and reduce the likelihood of that. And these root treatments that we've used in the past, they reduce the root intrusions without damaging the trees and plants above, and also one of the requirements is to make sure that it doesn't have an impact on wastewater treatment plants processes also. And generally speaking, if we can reduce the number of routes in the sewer mains, we'll have fewer sewer backups as well. Oh yeah, and this type of work is specialized work that requires licensed applicators. I don't know, typically at a current company, they come in from usually the Pacific Northwest in one big swoop where they send their crews up to do that type of work. The city has had contracts in place for this work since the 1990s, was it mid-1990s? Oh, and then the current, as mentioned, the current contract does expire this year. So we do need a new contract to continue this work. And what we're proposing is, the current budget is $500,000 per year, which over a 5-year period would be $2,500,000. And by getting this contract, getting a revised contract in place for this work, we can reduce the likelihood of sewer backups and also protect public health and the environment at the same time.
That's what we have for today. Any questions?
No, the photos were more than explicit, compelling, and right before lunch too. I think it was well timed, well done.
It's kind of like the game of like, what is this photo? Like, is it from a dental exam? No, it's roots and sewers.
I'm not even sure I want to know.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well done. Obviously, it's an urgent issue. Thank you. Do we have public testimony on this item?
No one signed up.
Thank goodness. All right, let's get these gentlemen on their way. Any further discussion? This is a first reading of a non-emergency ordinance.
I'll just thank Jeremiah and Randy for their work on this important project and being with us today.
Yeah, well done.
I have a
Commissioner
beyond
Ryan.
Being fascinated by the photos, I wanted to know if they were related to people with last name Hess.
Oh,
not that we know of.
Great answer, Jeremiah. All right, thanks.
All right, this is a first reading of a non-emergency ordinance. Thank you, gentlemen. It moves to second reading. Next item is a second reading, 367.
Create the Sustainability and Climate Commission.
Colleagues, this is a second reading. We've heard a presentation. We've heard public testimony. Anything else on this item? Please call the roll.
Ryan.
Thank you, Vivian, for your leadership. I have a lot of faith that this will be under good hands with your leadership. Great presentation last week. I vote aye.
Gonzalez.
Portland consistently ranks as one of the top green cities in the U.S. At the same time, we rank at the bottom of many relevant recovery metrics, whether it's to start a small business, curb open drug use, or get people off the streets and into shelter. The Sustainability and Climate Commission proposed here has the potential to reset this paradoxical dynamic while maintaining our commitment to being a climate leader both regionally and nationally. The potential to explore more efficient and robust ways of using data to track climate goals is exciting, as is the potential of public-private partnerships to establish Portland as a leading hub of technological innovation and scientific research on climate and sustainability. The Sustainability and Climate Commission also has the potential to keep our local and regional carbon footprint in perspective, especially in relation to the impact we can have on emissions globally through contributions rooted in tech and research that have applications in Asia and South America, where the bulk of global emissions exist and continue to rise. It is my hope that assessing these trade-offs together in partnership with industry and government leaders, local climate advocates, and community stakeholders will help us place the city's recovery hand in hand with our ongoing work on climate and sustainability. It is also my hope that environmental justice initiatives will be focused squarely on measurable outcomes and be more inclusive and robust in their engagement with the broader community. Together, we can ensure this important work brings our community together as we focus on shared values in helping restore Portland, not just in response to the difficult times we've experienced in recent years, but also an affirmation of our potential to remain innovative and creative leaders in the climate sustainability space. I vote aye.
Maps.
Aye.
Rubio.
I'd like to thank Vivian Satterfield and Elaine Livingstone for their extensive and excellent work to bring forward the framework for the new Sustainability and Climate Commission. The process to get us to this moment was very collaborative and intentional, as was making sure that the work was reflective of the engagement done within the city and also outside in the community. So this is a very momentous vote for the city of Portland, ensuring the opportunity for community to work collaboratively with our government to ensure climate priorities are always considered in our work. So I'm excited for the work ahead. I vote aye.
Wheeler.
I'd like to thank Commissioner Rubio for bringing this forward. And of course, Vivian and Elaine, thank you for your incredible leadership on this. There was obviously many, many months of hard work that went into this. And I think it's a terrific package, and I'm very happy to vote for it. I vote aye, and the ordinance is adopted. And at least for now, we are adjourned.